Welcome to Phuket News TV and this week's edition of Phuket News in Review. We're here with Simon Ostheimer, the Managing Editor of the Phuket News. Welcome, Simon.
Good to be here.
Yeah? Have you had a good week?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
apart from the constant rain, but
I love the rain. Okay, so this week we have not a headline you really see too often. Armed Aussie taxi driver arrested in Patong.
Yeah, that's the first time we've ever had anything like this on the front page. Basically, Australian man got into more than just an argument with some taxi drivers in Patong. They accused him of being an illegal taxi driver, a black taxi driver.
Yeah.
Ferrying around tourists. He said he was just basically dropping off friends. Got into an argument. It seems like he felt threatened and he pulled out what turned out to be a replica gun on these taxi drivers. And I've seen footage and they scatter as soon as he pulls this out.
There's a lot of different reports, aren't there?
Yeah, so it's something that we're following. It's still an ongoing investigation. We've been trying to sort of contact him for his side of the story as well, but yeah, certainly it's a very unusual story, something that we're very interested in.
Right, okay, and on page 4 we've got the Rihanna saga once again, the Loris letter going viral.
Yeah.
This is quite good though, because it is highlighting the plight of the Loris in Phuket.
Yeah, it's basically sort of following on from what happened with her on Bangla Road and taking that photo. And a volunteer at the Gibbon Rehabilitation Centre has written basically an open letter to Rihanna to say, can you please help us promote the plight of the Loris in Phuket, using your celebrity to sort of spread this letter among your millions and millions of Twitter fans and Facebook followers. So we followed that.
Promote our club.
Kind of, yeah. And actually we'll get to it in a bit, but further in Life, the environment feature this week is Jodie's written a piece all about the Loris and the plans to kind of try and save and protect them in Phuket.
That's great. It's we were down there on Friday night at Phuket News TV, and we were going around Bangla just kind of making people aware not to take their photos with lorises, iguanas and gibbons. And
you're handing out flyers, you said?
Yeah, and most people were aware, but they were more interested, I think, in going clubbing than actually listening to the...
In holiday mode already?
Yeah. Or they thought we were selling something, so didn't go down too well. Page 8 this week, we've got Vessels of the Gods. There's a vegetarian festival.
Yeah. This starts today, Friday. This was written by Nook, one of our reporters, all about the vegetarian festival, which has taken place over the coming week. So it kind of, for a lot of people, they don't know of the spectacle. There's a lot of gore and things shoved through the mouth and through the cheeks and hitting themselves with axes and things, but not why. Why do they actually do it? Where did it come from?
Why do they do that?
Well, I could give you the full story, but you could probably better read it in the paper.
Right. Nice plug.
But it started just from a very small thing, just sort of kind of a way of worshipping the gods, to sort of thank them for good luck, and then it's kind of evolved into this amazing thing that we see now. So we kind of ask all these questions, and then in this spread this week, give people kind of the full background to the festival. Plus we've got a list of all the major street processions, and these are the things that you want to go and see. Right,
and that's handy to have, so people, if you want to go
every
and see
day,
it.
which shrine to go to and where the procession ends up at. So
amazing.
Obviously it's going to be very difficult to cover all of them, but maybe you can pick out something that's in your area and go to that.
Yeah, great. Okay, so page 13, I thought this was quite interesting. Phuket is number 2 place for Chinese.
Yeah, it's a survey in China that was carried out on the most popular destination for mainland Chinese tourists.
Yeah.
And it's actually a little bit misleading because we've got Phuket as number 2, but number 1 is Hong Kong, which is part of China. It's a separate self-administrative
where you grew up.
Region. Yeah, and I'm still a permanent resident. But number 2 was Phuket, but as you pointed out before we started talking, Bangkok is number 4, so basically 2 out of the top 4 is Thailand.
Yeah, right.
And that explains probably why you're seeing all these, the buses everywhere and the package tourists, but it's amazing the number of people that are now coming here from the mainland.
Right, yeah, it is really interesting. So there is a top 20 to look at there. Now on page 16, elsewhere in the world, meanwhile in Saudi, women can't drive because...
Well, this is a story that's been going on for some time, that basically if you're a woman, you're not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. As we've learnt, though, it's not that it's illegal for a woman to drive. The law doesn't state only a man can drive a car.
So there's no law saying no, you can't.
There's no
drive
law. However, they only issue licenses to men. If you were a Saudi woman trying to get your license, you would be refused. They wouldn't issue, or maybe they would deliberately fail you and not give you that. That's speculation. But what this is new about this story is a Saudi cleric has now come up and said it actually could be dangerous to a woman's health to drive.
Right.
That it could affect her ovaries and her ability to bear children.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. With the constant gear changing and
right.
acceleration.
It's very strenuous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So.
But that's on our weird news page. It's kind of offbeat news from around the world. But yeah.
And we touched on that just a little bit before. The world's luckiest people. A big list. Some guy's been hit by lightning. What? 7 times.
Yeah.
So a few stories to go through there.
Yeah, another lady, she survived, I think, 3 or 4 shipwrecks, including the Titanic.
Wow.
And
you wouldn't want to be on a boat with this woman.
Well, if you were, stick very, very close to her because she's going to live through it.
Yeah, true. All right, so page 27, we have Phuket FC. They're not doing very well, are they?
No. Had a very promising start to the season. New owner, Chairman Pamuk, he's poured a lot of money into it, brought in some great players. There's a lot of sort of hope that we're going to get promoted to the Premier League this season. And they didn't go so well. They ended up changing the coach and things have actually got even worse. They recently, this is last weekend, they lost away to Krabi, so arch rivals, Andaman Derby, lost 3-1. And they're now they're in the bottom half of the table, and if they don't start winning some games, there's a big danger they could even get relegated, which would be the worst outcome altogether. So this this weekend got a home game
on Sunday, yeah.
Sunday against Gulf FC Saraburi. They're actually ranked 6th in the table, so it's going to be a tough match. But they have to start winning, and they've got to start now.
What do you think? Win or lose?
I think it will be a draw.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so in this week's Life supplement, we start off with the black and white Life exhibition. Where is this? This is at the On Hotel.
Yeah, the Memory at On Hotel, Phuket's oldest hotel, recently renovated. Beach was partially filmed there. Yeah, and it's a series of black and white photos, all about children in Phuket. Just kind of capturing their life. Like you can see the photos here. There's a baby crawling, 2 boys talking to each other, a couple kids who've just been reprimanded.
Just getting those raw moments.
Those raw moments. Beautiful exhibition, I've heard. It's going to be great. And anyone can go, and you just pop by the Memory On. It'll be in the foyer area. So it's going to be, it's quite something, and we're happy to promote it. Local photographer. Yeah,
nice. Okay, and again, touching on the Rihanna effect with the Lorises, that's on page 2 of Life this week. You know that she's got a song called Rehab?
No, I didn't until.
There you go. It's come in handy. So yeah, this is written by Jody Houghton.
Yeah.
He basically goes into...
It's, well, they're proposing to set up a Loris Rehabilitation Centre, much in the same vein that they have the one for the Gibbons. But what Jody looks at is whether it's a good thing, the pros and cons of it. There's argument whether Lorises can be released into the wild or not, whether once they've been tamed or looked after by humans, if they can actually survive again in the wild. Some people say yes, some say no, so it kind of goes into all the ins and outs of it. But certainly, as this picture shows, the lorises, terrible things are happening to them. This actually is a picture of a guy in Indonesia, and he's taken out the teeth of a loris so it won't bite tourists. So very, very interesting story, and a special feature from Jodie on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and Coffee Club, this was up here somewhere. Crazy about fresh coffee. Coffee Club making its way to Phuket.
Yeah.
Now, there's over 273 coffee clubs in Australia, so it's quite a big
and I'd never, until coming across it in Phuket, I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, I'm familiar with the other big name international coffee brands, but you were saying that this one is huge in Australia, a certain huge number of branches, and so they're now in Phuket. So we thought, well, perfect, let's go down and review it, check out the food, and certainly try the coffee. Good, yes, yeah.
And last but not least, we have the news supplement, Say Cheese.
Yeah.
This is where you can just go and see if you've made the social scene section of the Phuket news. Yeah,
we're going to be carrying this every fortnight, every 2 weeks, and it's got a collection of photos from events all around the island, and other venues as well, down at the beach club, There's some other ones here sort of in restaurants and things. And yeah, it's a chance to see that if you've been captured, I guess, yeah,
and if
out
you
on the
remember.
town, and if you remember.
Evidence.
Yeah, but we're going to be carrying every 2 weeks, sort of nice, sort of glossy insert.
Awesome. Okay, well, that is this week's the Phuket News. Thank you once again, Simon Ostheimer.
Thanks for having me, Kirsty.
Not a problem, always a pleasure. And if you want a list of where we sell the Phuket News, you can head to thephuket.news.com. We'll see you next time.